Hey guys, in this video I'll show you how to assemble robots in Onshape. So I'll cover mates and offset. So to get started, I'm going to delete all of these parts here in this assembly, and I'm just going to insert two C channels. So I'm going to make them 10 holes, and I'll just insert two here. So a good thing to know is that you can drag around your parts, or if you want, you can click on this icon with three arrows and move your part one directionally or two directionally. And you can also rotate your part here, so it does it in increments of 5. So now if you wanted to mate some parts together, there's all of these different options to mate, and the most common one is fasten mates, and these are mates that restrict freedom of motion after you mate them in any direction. So if we were to mate, let's say this hole with this hole, it wouldn't allow it to, if we were to rotate this a little bit, it wouldn't allow us to move the C channels relative to one another. They're always going to stay in this way. So to show how to mate parts together in specific, for metal, you're gonna have to, once you click on fasten mate, you have to hold shift on the face that you wanna mate with the other part. So you hold shift, so that way it knows that this is the face with all the mate connectors, and it keeps the mate connectors. Because otherwise, the hole in the mate connector in the middle of the hole will disappear once you like have your mouse over the hole. So you hold shift, then select the mate connector in the middle of the hole, and then do the same thing for the other hole on the other C channel. Then this allows you, or yeah, you hold shift, then you click this, then this allows you to have the two parts mated together. So right now you can see that they're overlapping on one another. So sometimes this happens, it's not the way you wanted it, or it's not oriented the proper way. Then you can just flip the primary axis or reorient the secondary axis, and then this allows you to reorient the mate and do it as you desire. So I'm just going to click check because this is how I want it for now. And that's the most common type of mate, that's fasten mates. Now to show Revolut mate, I'm gonna be inserting an axle, because I feel like it's the best way to show it. So I'm gonna go and insert an axle here. I'll make it 3 inches long, and instead of the way to mate stuff, it remains the same, but the type of mate that you have affects how it can move after. So with fast mate, it doesn't allow you to move at all. But for Revolut mate, if I were to click the center here and click the center or shift and then click center here, it looks like it's the same thing. Um, but to show that it's a little bit different, what you could do is right click on Revolut and click on animate, and it shows you that it's able to rotate. So Revolut Mate differs because it allows rotation in one axis, um, unlike a fully static mate like Fasten Mate. So that's how Revolut Mate differs. So you could use it for any parts that like rotate relative to one another, and you can also edit mates from once you have them. So you could make this a slider mate, for example, and it shows you that you can slide this axle compared to the where it was made originally, and you can see how everything else is moving. If you wanted only this axle to move and nothing else to move, you could either click on the C channel or this C channel here, and just right click and then um, click fix, and then that would allow it to stay in the same place. And then another type of mate that you can have is planar mates. So to show planar mate, I'm gonna delete, or I'm gonna delete this mate, and now I can really move this axle once again, and then I can just click on one of the faces of this axle, let's say, and then click on the face of this C channel here, and right now it's um it's like within the C channel, so I'm just gonna flip the primary axis. But after this, you can tell that you're able to slide this axle across the C channel. So this is just like a hypothetical mate. You probably wouldn't use this in actual CAD, but it shows you that you can move it around. So let's say you had a robot on your field, then you could just drag your robot around the field and keep it on the on the field. So that's a planar mate. And these other mates, you definitely won't use them except for maybe parallel mate. So to show what parallel mate is, I'm going to delete this. And parallel mate just keeps it. So if one of these parts were to rotate and it was parallel mated with this axle, then this axle would move so it's oriented the same way. So to show this, I'll just have this. I'll have this face. I'll have this face, this top face, and then this top face also. And right now it connects them, but if you wanted, you could just drag it away. And then what to show how it works, um, if you were to rotate this, so I'd have to unfix this. Um, if you were to rotate this part, like this, then it keeps the axle parallel to the C channel. So sometimes I'll come in handy. So yeah, that's the last type of mate. And for offsetting, which I covered a little bit less, the way to offset, so this typically is for fasten mates. You would edit your fasten mate, or when you initially create it, there will be this offset feature here. So you just click offset, and it allows you to offset the mate or the different parts that are connected by a certain amount in all three directions. So let's say I wanted it to be down a little bit more. I would just do like 1 inch, let's say, and then it moves it down based off that. And you can also rotate as well. So you could rotate about any of the three axes, and it allows you to rotate based off that. So let's say I wanted to rotate at 45 degrees, then you can rotate like that. Um, or if I wanted to rotate about the Z axis, so it's still connected, then I can do 45 degrees like that. A little bit off, but that's because of the offset. So typically you don't want to use offset like this because it'll mess up when you rotate, if you rotate later on. But if it was this hole connected here, then it would be rotated properly. So that's how you offset, and um, those are the different types of mates.